Hello! I'm finally done with all my college applications, so I'm back full time, and we're back to having videos every week. I have a couple video essays lined up and a video tomorrow about an experience I had. It might come out tomorrow. If it doesn't come out tomorrow, that means because I'm still editing it, but it may come out tomorrow, and if it does, then please watch that. So I hope you're able to watch it and see what I have to say in it. Over my impromptu hiatus, sorry I didn't announce it, just life happens, because college applications, but I finished them all and doing financial things right now. It's a very cool process. Enjoyed filling out my applications and doing them. And if you guys want a video about me talking more about college applications, I'm totally down for that. So a couple of my video essays during my hiatus broke 1,000 views. So the one about BTS ARMY being the biggest fandom in the world, or potentially the biggest fandom in the world. We don't know exactly. Please watch the whole entire video. Sometimes I see people comment on that video and they say like, oh, BTS ARMY biggest fandom in the world, and I'm like, that's not the point of the video, but thank you for watching it. But I just wish people didn't say that, because the whole point of the video is that we don't know. And I really like talking about fandom data in that video, and just I wish people, got the point of the video, but it's okay. But that video reached 2,000 views actually. And then my BTS ARMY, the one about how BTS ARMY revolutionized fandom, so that one also broke 1,000 views. I'm really thankful for all the people who watched it. It's very long videos, so people sitting down to take 30 minutes out of the day to watch it. I'm very thankful for that. It's very exciting, and I'm very happy to be encouraging more people to be interested in fandom history and analysis. It's very meaningful to me, and something I really want to do as I get older too. Okay, sorry. Let's get into the title of this video. What does it mean to be a fan? I feel like there's many different answers to this question. Some people see being a fan as a hobby. So if you ever have gotten into kind of the transformative versus curatorial, I think it's called curatorial, or it's called collective. Ooh, I don't remember. But something like that, where it's like, oh, should fandom be about like transformative things, about collecting or creation, basically? That's like the hobby aspect of it. Should fan like some people see being a fan as being like, oh, I need to collect everything in this, and some people see being a fan as like, oh, I have to transform this thing to be different and to like fit what I want, or to fit what I think the thing should be. But it's like seeing fandom as a hobby is there's a lot of different aspects to that type of thing. But other people see being a fan as like part of their identity. So when people see being a fan as part of their identity, what that means is that basically they see, like, when they introduce themselves to people, right? It's like, oh, if you say like, oh, I'm Crystal, and I like to do activist, like I'm an activist, right? Like that's something that people would introduce themselves as. So like, hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm a ARMY for BTS. I'm a BTS ARMY, and like people introduce themselves like that. So that's what it means when you see it as part of your identity. So you see it as part of like who you are as a person, and not as a hobby. And some people I see being a fan as part of an extension of themselves. So while being a fan is not really necessarily part of their identity, it's more like an extension of themselves, where it's like, oh, I'm Crystal, but I see like being a BTS ARMY as like, oh, this is just a part of who I am, but it's not technically like a specific hardcore identity part of me. It's kind of like that. And others try to hide being a fan, or they're not really, it's not that they hide, it's more like they just don't see being a fan as like something they need to introduce themselves as or point out in real life. So an old fandom term used for that was called closeted, like you're a closeted fan. Or, well, like closeted as in like, not closeted in the context of LGBTQ+, but closeted in the fact like, oh, you're a fan but you don't talk about it in real life. Because I know it doesn't happen that much now, but like back in the day, like 2000, I guess like the late 2000s, like there was a thing called like fan outing, where a lot of people, they didn't out themselves as fans of things or involved in fandom or fan fiction or fan art and like that in real life, because like the context like made people judge them or like that. So some people did hide it. There's a lot of people who I know who are older and in fandom spaces who still have the type of thinking where they don't talk about being a fan in real life, even though they spent a lot of time in fandoms online or still in real life, but just not part of their like traditional like family job life, kind of like that. So there's a lot of different aspects of how people view being a fan. Personally, I have a very complicated relationship between the fact that I'm a fan and many other things. In real life, I'm like someone you wouldn't expect to be into fandoms. So for much of my early teen years, I felt like I had to hide it. So I was one of those types of people. Not one of those types. I don't want to say that it's bad to be like that. I'm just saying like times have changed, and historical context of like when you became involved in fandom kind of like sets a precedent of like what you believe in as a fan now. But for much of my early teen years, I felt like I really couldn't talk about being involved in fandom, because even though like all of my friends, like a lot of my friends talked about being a fandom or liking anime and like that, but I just didn't talk about it because I don't know, I feel like just a lot of like societal expectations of like who I'm supposed to be as a person, and like when you're young you're still trying to figure it out. But at this point in my life, when I was younger, I was spending hours online doing all types of activities in fandom. So, like, I've been involved in fandom for a long time. So, like, half of my day would be strictly school. And then the moment I got home and finished my homework, I would be on full fandom mode, just like Tumblr and forums. And basically, I lived like a double life. But now that I'm older, I'm more comfortable talking about my involvement in fandoms and being more public about it. So a lot of my family knows that I'm involved in fandoms, and like my parents know I run a YouTube channel and like that. It's interesting. I feel like younger me, if she saw me now, she would be a little confused, but like, yeah, that makes sense how I got there. Kind of like that. And hey, I even wrote about fandoms for my college applications, and that's what we call character development right there. Yeah, you guys know what's up. Anyway, with that background, my idea of what it means to be a fan is the product of finally embracing that aspect of myself. So if you asked me like 5 years ago what I thought about being a fan, I would have a very different idea of what it means to be a fan than if you asked me today. So what does it mean to be a fan? For me, it means to be myself. So I absolutely love how fandoms work both online and offline. It's very much like an identity. It's a part of me. It's who I am. Like, I'm not scared in real life to be like, oh yeah, I love BTS. Oh, I love anime. Oh, I love like certain book series. Or I love like, oh, like certain musician. Like, I'm just not shy when it comes to talking about those things. And I've gone to like real life like fan events. So I've gone to like anime conventions, and those are like super fun, by the way. Like, if you are able to go to an anime convention safely right now, because COVID era, like, you should go. Because anime conventions are literally so fun to go to. Like, you don't even have to go with friends. It's usually more fun if you go with friends, because, like, you have people to, like, hang around. But, like, it's just so fun to, like, meet people and talk about something you love so much and, like, be surrounded by the energy. Like, the energy people have in them is, like, so addictive. Like, when you go to, like, an anime convention or, like, any type of convention, there's a lot of conventions, like Comic-Con, and, like, there's, like, I know there's, like, a Trekkie convention, and there's conventions for, like, all types of things. But, like, just look for them and go to them. Because a lot of times when people go to conventions, right, like, they go to, like, I know a lot of people who've gone to, like, one day of a convention, and then they're like, wow, I love that so much, I'm gonna pay to go to the other days, too. And, like, because that's just how good the energy is there. Just being around people and celebrating this, like, one thing you all love, like, feels so good. And I haven't been able to go to anime conventions in the past 2 years because COVID exists, but I really want to get back into that if I can sometime. Just really love that. And I also went to the BTS concert in Los Angeles this past month. Super great energy. People were amazing. BTS were amazing. Honestly, one of the most memorable experiences ever. Just BTS are just such good performers, and just being surrounded by so many armies. Oh my god, I just love that energy. There's like this girl in front of me too when I was sitting in the concert I was sitting in the concert, right? There's a girl in front of me that, like, whenever, like, RM appeared on screen, she would just, like, scream, like, so loud, and just, like, wow, I felt that in my soul, just feeling that energy and being surrounded by that type of energy. Oh, so good, I love that. Just, like, I love real life fan events. If you are able to ever go to a real life fan event, like, I also went to, when I was in LA, I also went to, like, a boba event for like a cup sleeve event for BTS, and that was like so fun too. It was like great seeing other armies, like seeing people with like headbands and keychains for BT21. And there was this one girl, I remember she had like a Obey shirt, like the Hobie like Dynamite Obey shirt. Oh, so cool. And there's this other girl who had like, oh my god, I think she had like, it was like a J-Hope like hat. I think it was like a bucket hat. And it was like so cute, and she's like, yes, I love real life fan events. So fun. If you gotta go to a real life fan event if you can. It's such a incredible experience getting to feel that energy from other people. Okay, then also online things. My experiences in fandom feel very much me. I love online experiences fandom. I've done group work for fandoms, so like I've hosted events and I've basically helped cultivate communities online. And it feels so me to do that. It feels right being a fan and liking things and just being involved with people in that type of way. I've had people tell me before that I can use the skills I have for other things, like the skills I've learned from fandom and organizing. And that's true. And I have used my skills for other things before in real life, but just something about whenever I use social media for fandoms or meet other people because we share an interest, it's a very strong and prominent feeling that I can't replicate in other instances. And I'm really passionate about a lot of things in real life and enjoy like real life like community work and engaging in school groups and engaging in activities related to my ethnic identity. But fandom feels different. It feels it's like these people I ended up with on a whim. It's serendipitous that we all ended up in one place together to love one thing. In that way, being in a fandom is very fulfilling to me. So that's how I feel about what it means to be a fan. What it means to be a fan. What does it mean to be a fan for you? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video, and as always, please remember to stay thoughtful,